Hello, I'm Donal Macaulay from BJGP. Today I'm talking to Dr. Hassan Awan, and we're going to talk about ethnic inequalities, particularly in the light of COVID-19.
So the work that I've been doing, which was really before COVID-19 and has been changed in the context of COVID-19, but is essentially looking at South Asians with long-term conditions. Okay, we know that South Asians with long-term conditions, they've got more higher rates of mental illness, things like depression, anxiety. They seek help less. Ourselves, as I'm a practicing GP, us GPs are not as good as diagnosing mental illness or managing it. So my research is really about uncovering and unfolding reasons behind that, in understanding how we can better manage South Asians with long-term conditions presenting with mental illness. And I think it was really telling by the King's Fund, by some of the authors, to say, you know, in a way, it took COVID for us to look at inequalities in healthcare, particularly with the BAME population.
How should we as GPs change the way we practice?
I think there's a number of things we need to do, but I think one is really having an awareness. And by an awareness, we have to understand that people from different communities present differently. So there's research that talks about cultural competency, having an understanding of the patient perspective. And I think as GPs, we need to pick up on that. South Asians will present differently. Stigma and a number of issues present differently. We have to, as GPs, be proactive, particularly in South Asians with long-term conditions. It should be something, talking about emotional distress, talking about mental illness, it should be something that, number one, we want to bring up, and number two, we're comfortable discussing with people from different communities in a language that's appropriate to them. And I think number three, we also have to think about how we present management options in a way that is appropriate for people within their different communities. So I think cultural competencies is a real key component of patient-centeredness in managing this health inequality.
Can you tell me a little bit more about cultural competency and how that will affect management?
Qualitative research looking into how South Asians present, for example, has shown that they use figurative language more, they use metaphorical language more. Okay, they may, for example, present with general physical symptoms. So as a GP, we have to understand not only what the patient is saying, but the patient within their own context, within their socioeconomic context, within their cultural context. And we have to interpret that information and manage it appropriately.
How would you modify how we're trained as GPs to integrate this cultural competency into our consultation and management techniques?
It's absolutely needed to have a look at how people of different cultures present. But I think globally, this is really, really important, because we know people from different cultures and different backgrounds will present, you know, different with a variety of both mental and physical conditions. And I think as GPs serving the community as bastions of, you know, patient-centered care, we have to have an understanding and an insight of different people's cultures, just as we do of their socioeconomic backgrounds, just as we do that, for example, males and females can present differently. I think we need to have a global understanding of how culture impacts health.
Today, I've been talking to Dr. Hassan Awan, who's given us some fascinating insights into how we can best manage our consultations. Hassan, thank you very much.
Thank you.